Everyone to Today at Array, starring Amber Case. My name is E.T. I'm the CEO of Array. I think I know most of you out there, and thank you for joining us today. It's the first time that we've ever opened up Array to the public, and majority of you, this is the first time that you've been using Remo. I discovered it with GBeta about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Just thought it was a really cool piece of software to be able to bring people together and kind of like a little a conference type environment, and then open it up to the world, obviously due to the pandemic. So thank you again for participating, and bear with us as we kind of work through. This is the first time we've done it. So I'll be bringing people up to our digital stage. And as you can see in this presentation, all of your microphones and cameras have been muted so that we can focus on the content of Today at Array. But you can see in the chat, you can either do a general chat, you can continue chatting with the people that you were at with your table, and then just kind of give you a quick heads up. The plan is for the next 30 minutes. The students and apprentices of Array will kind of introduce themselves to Amber. And then obviously this is all about Amber, who is this wonderful, awesome, amazing person who has incredible life achievements, was not born and raised, but like from Cheyenne. So I'm going to leave that to her to be able to talk about what that is. And then there is also a Q&A section on the right-hand side of your screen. So if you want to do Q&A, we'll kind of talk to Amber for about half an hour, and then maybe about 15 or 20 minutes for you to answer questions. And then we'll kind of wrap up Today at Array with more discussion around the table after the presentation. So with that being said, I think we are ready to get started. So who's ready for the very first ever public Today at Array? I think I am. I can't see anything, so let's see here. All right, well, let me go ahead and let's bring up Amber, our very special guest, and we'll go ahead and kick it off. So Amber, are you able to join us here? Let's see, speakers. Yay, there's Amber.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Well, again, thank you very much for taking time out of your very important day to chat with our students or our apprentices and meet people from around there. So had a good week?
Yeah, I mean, it's COVID week every week over here, so yeah.
Yeah, well, cool. Well, again, thank you, Amber. And what we're going to start with first is we're going to bring up our students and apprentices on stage, kind of some quick introductions, 2 to 3 minutes. And again, students and apprentices, what were you doing before Array? Why did you decide to join Array? And what are you looking forward to most after Array? So I will go ahead and pick the first ones, and you can introduce yourself to Amber. So I choose... Let's bring Brett to the stage. All right, come on down, Brett.
Hi, Amber.
Hey.
Before Array, well, first I'd like to thank you for coming, and also thank you for drawing potatoes with us. It was fun. So before Array, I was working on, I was moving furniture and like starting a like side gig doing like writing haiku books. As I mentioned earlier, now that I'm at Array, I've been doing mobile app development for a billiards company so that people can find pool games with people who are in the or maybe farther away. So that's been fun, and I got pretty deep into that. So I think moving forward after Array, that's what I'm going to be doing, but probably get more into the data science aspect of things. And I hear you're a cyborg anthropologist, which is super exciting to me because I'm super into like transhumanism and this idea of like total human optimization. Like, I think we're already cyborgs. So like, I'm super excited to hear what you have to say.
Awesome. Thanks. It's nice to meet you.
All right. Thank you, Brett. Let's see, who do I want to choose next? I choose, let's meet Leanne Grapes. So Leanne, please come to the stage.
Great. Hi, Amber. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Leanne Graves. I am a boot camp student set to graduate next week. Really excited about that. I am currently in Casper, but I just recently moved to Cheyenne, and I'm really looking forward to making it into the Array building sometime soon. Before I came to Array, I was working in local and state politics. I started a nonprofit that helped more young people get engaged in politics and keeping their legislative representatives accountable to the will of the people. It was a great, very meaningful work that I loved doing, but I was throughout that work, I had gone to an economic development conference called the Endow Engage Conference in 2018, where I saw ET speak for the first time and heard him talk about the intersection of technology and the future of Wyoming and how it was a way to keep more young and creative folks in our state. And so they were kind of on my mind for a while, and I decided I wanted to develop a new skill set that would let me continue working on the frontier of change in Wyoming, but also try something new. And so I started the boot camp this fall. So now that I am doing full stack development in JavaScript, I'm definitely loving the design aspect of things a lot, and better understanding how to create technology that intersects with like the way people naturally want to use products. So I'm really interested to hear you talk about your background and kind of what you've been working on. We're also working on developing our first mobile applications, and I've been loving app development. So that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. A fun fact about me, my app that I'm doing relates to this. I am our group's crazy plant lady. So I love plants. I traveled to Casper for a couple of weeks, and I may have traveled with a couple of plants because one was almost in bloom. I wasn't going to miss that. So,
Oh, wow. That's great. Well, plants are classic. They help us breathe. So that just like many other industries, we will never undemand plants.
right, exactly. So my app's going to help people take care of their plants and not kill them.
Oh, good.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure to meet you, and I'm excited to learn more.
Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Awesome. Thank you, Leanne. All right. So let's bring up actually a staff member at Array. So let's go ahead and bring up Mr. Lindley, who is the director of instruction for Array, who's been teaching our boot camp. So Mr. Lindley, please come on up.
Hello? Okay, now it's working. It's working now. Sorry for being the professor. If I can't turn my mic on, that's probably not a good first sign. But hello, thanks for being here with us today. I find you studied and stuff very fascinating, cyborgs and AI and all that cool stuff. So it'd be interesting to see what you have to say. Before Array, I was doing software engineering in Colorado for a company called Bulb. So we were heavy in the education sector. We were a digital portfolio company that actually partnered pretty heavily with Google and their like Chromebooks and stuff towards the end. So I worked there for 4 years. Before that, I went to Galvanize. Before that, I studied computer science. So I have been on a pretty straight line of computer science and programming since I was in about 7th grade, I'd say. But yeah, as soon as I heard there was a need to fill at the Array School, I messaged ET and worked out that process, and it all worked out pretty well. So I now have 10 students that I can take credit for that are graduating on Friday, and several of them, the majority of them are going to move into the apprenticeship,
Cool.
and then there'll be someone else's problem. Just kidding. No.
Not
So,
mine or anyone else's.
yeah.
Did you grow up in Colorado?
I actually grew up in Wyoming, so that's my little tie to Cheyenne. Is I was there for my whole childhood and elementary, preschool, middle school, high school. So I graduated from Central.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I heard you're an East.
I am not an East. I'm a
You're
Central.
not. You're Central. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
Because
don't
I thought
worry.
you
No, I don't have any East personality. Apologize to anyone that went to East.
I was gonna say, like, you're gonna have probably a little grudge. if
Yeah,
you,
for sure. I agree.
You know,
I don't
So
blame you.
anybody that graduated from East is just
Big debate rivals for sure.
yeah. But no, thanks again though for coming out, and I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks.
Good to hear
Thanks
what you
for
have to say.
teaching.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Lindley. Get ready for February 1st, our next boot camp.
Yeah.
Record-breaking admission request,
Great.
so we'll see how it goes. So thank you, Matt.
Trust.
All right, so let's go ahead and bring up a current boot camper who will also be graduating next Friday. Mr. Justice Dunn, please come to the stage.
Provide the little interstitial music here.
Thank you, Amber.
Thank you. First of all, I saw your TED Talk recently when I learned about you coming. I thought it was really, really interesting. So I'm excited to hear what you have to say. Before Ray, I was at the University of Wyoming. I was kind of switching between majors. I did music for a year and psychology, and it was all interesting stuff. But I'd been interested in computer science, and I found the opportunity in Ray to learn more about it and get paid, and be able to follow some of my passions while being able to afford them as well. So I came here, ended up here, and right now I'm working on my capstone like the other current boot campers, and I'll be an apprentice in January. Let's see. I'm interested in kind of all facets of technology, whether it's like app development or actual like engineering of like electronics, that kind of stuff. So I'm just kind of going wherever I'm needed. I'm just interested to keep on learning and see where I can apply myself. Fun fact about me, I have 9 siblings. There's a fun fact. No, my parents are not Mormon. So, sorry.
Is that your other sibling?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
10.
They're all significantly hairier than I, but thank you again for coming. I'm excited to hear you talk.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Justice. So students and apprentices, if you do have a little quick fun fact to add at the end, that would be great. All right. So next up, I choose Shanda. So Shanda, come to the stage, please. Perfect. Yep. We gotta get some intermission music. Come on.
The mountain satellite internet doesn't help either.
Oh,
So we're
wow.
here. But Starlink, come on. It's close.
Hey, this is what we went to space
I'm
for.
Shanda. Right, exactly. I'm Shanda. Thank you so much, Amber, for dropping by and chatting with us. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. It's been hyped up a lot, so it's going to be really cool. Before Array, I actually have a research background in multiple sciences, but ended up transitioning into the fitness industry full time because when I graduated, there was no jobs. So lucrative, and went for where I could work, and it ended up being really fun. I transitioned out of the fitness industry into tech, so I learned how to code through a remote boot camp. That was not Array, but Array is so much better. And here I am, and now I guess I'm Array's official first Agile coach. Right?
Oh, yeah, nice.
Put on a resume.
Yes.
Yeah, that's sweet. Cool.
Great.
That's about it for me. But yeah, thank you for coming and spending your time to chat with us today.
Yeah, no problem. Nice to meet
Awesome.
you.
Thank you, Shanda. Yeah, Shanda passed her Scrum Agile certification, 98%, 49 out of 50 questions, correct? So I'm like, that one question, why? You had one question, but congratulations, Shanda. You are Array's first Scrum Agile master. So,
I mean, if it was 100%, that would be suspect, right? You want to
I
verify
know,
that this
yeah.
person is human.
maybe you're right. Like maybe Shanda is the cyborg.
You
so.
don't want to have a Blade Runner situation.
One of my favorite movies ever. All right, let's bring up Steven to the stage. So let me grab you, Steven. All right, come on down. I do need to have like some kind of recording for like the prices, right? Like what music do they play? Like, yes, that's what we need. And Steven, you're back.
Prices a new
Love you,
car.
Bob Barker. Yeah. Amber, thanks so much for doing this. We met briefly at the table. My name is Steven Spicer. I'm in Casper. Prior to this, I spent about 10 years working as a title analyst, primarily with oil and gas. And it was, stimulating and difficult, but not fulfilling. And it became harder and harder to reconcile working in that industry. And obviously with the pandemic, things, it didn't matter. That went away. So I got involved with the WTCC, which is the Wyoming Tech Coronavirus Coalition. I met ET at that point, and one thing led to another, and I took a left turn and ended up doing this. And as I told ET, the universe sort of threw me a curveball today, and I got a call from the old company saying, "Hey, we're ramping up. Are you ready to do this?" And I said, "Not if it's oil and gas related." And so I was happy to do that, and we're going to see where this goes. Prior to that, that was not fulfilling, but for several years I worked as a director and instructor at a children's theater, and that was easily the best and worst paying job I've ever had. But I always called it a youth ministry that wasn't affiliated with a church, and I loved that, and that's something that I still dabble in. I'm getting ready to direct another show with them, but that's the sort of thing that I am passionate about, and I spent a lot of time in the schools, children's theater, and have done that since then in a volunteer basis. And I'm kind of my presentations are heading towards STEAM and STEM, so that's something that I'm hoping to continue to do moving forward. But anyway, thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for doing what you're doing. And happy Bowie Day, where you get to change genres.
Yeah, I tend to do it about every 5 or 6 years. It turns out this lasting for longer.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Yeah. Roll it till the ground that is Steven and see what grows. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Steven. All right, let's see. I think we're going to call on another staff member at Array, and I choose our Chief Creative Officer, Mr. Jason Berner. Please come on down.
There
we go.
So Chief Creative, whatever he said. I'm interested to hear what you're all about, so that's cool. I've read 1 or 2 O'Reilly books, but it was forever ago. I haven't done a whole lot of coding because there's always someone who's better at that and does it full time, so I let them do their thing. My background is basically creative world, videos, graphic design, branding, marketing, all that stuff. Spent the last decade working in ad agencies. That's me.
What's your dog's name?
I have 5.
Great.
That was Dewey that just came in, and Steve is laying here as well.
Nice. It's very nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you, Mr. Berner. All right. Let's move on to one of our apprentices, Nathaniel. So let me add to there we go.
Hey, I made it. And it's a heck of a step to get up onto the stage type deal.
Yeah, it's a commute.
Yeah, it's kind of nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Amber, I appreciate you joining us. We try to be a little bit interesting, creative, trying to hit that enthusiasm that AT has. So definitely coming from what he's told us about you, that this should be a very entertaining, energetic, and informative information that you have to present to us. So obviously my name is Nathaniel. Last name is Johnson. I was born and raised out of Colorado. Joined the military right after high school, so I just got done spending 22 years with the Army. and retired, and decided I wanted to go from being outdoors in a very labor-intensive job field into IT. I just kind of had an interest in the information technology, computers, courses like that, and I ended up getting into a boot camp for cloud application development. And then while I was doing that and going through my professional development and learning it on there, I was trying to get up into Wyoming because my family's all moved up into Cheyenne. My cousin's over in Laramie now. And I just kind of happened to get on LinkedIn with a database operations manager here. And he had posted ET's deal about that they had been approved for the Department of Labor's apprentice program. So I thought, this is interesting. This kind of helps me get to here and also kind of be supervised at the same time to learn. Because obviously I had very, very, very little background in the IT field before I started my little boot camp deal. And I just kind of happened to come up to Cheyenne, even during the pandemic, visiting family, and decided I wanted to do face-to-face type deal and ran into ET on the side of the corner. So it was kind of fun and informative, bullshit for a little bit while he hangs out outside like he does whenever he can. And he's like, yeah, definitely, we can get you into this, get going. And I ended up transitioning from the military straight into my next career field almost simultaneously. It really didn't have any break point coming here, and then just been rolling nonstop ever since. Been great. The culture, the Array staff and the other apprentices that came in with me at the same time, been great, helpful, good culture to be at. And then like your job field kind of information point where you're coming from, and then my background aspect has always kind of been into that, always seeing where we could go, especially coming from the military side of how AI and cyborg and pushing into that realm of how it's going to advance and kind of maneuver and shift more protection and advancement on that side. And that's part of one of the job fields that are client aspects that we have out of here that are kind of really interesting is kind of getting into that basis of the AI side of things to help advance more or less like safety measures and controls on everything. Kind of help that humanity in that aspect as we transition forward to renewable stuff, kind of help keep what we have safer as we move that way.
Great. Fantastic. That was really nice to meet you.
Bounced around quite a bit, so it's always been a funny fact that I've always lived in probably about 4 different countries.
Mm-hmm. Nice. That's awesome.
Well, thank you.
I respect you with whatever you're saying there.
Oh, it's great. It's great to meet you, and thanks for your story. This is awesome. Just I get to meet all these people. Yeah, and congrats on making the shift. That's super cool.
Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Nathaniel. All right, let's see. Who am I going to pick on next? Looking at my list here, I choose. Oh, let me find you here in the list. I choose Patricia. Please come to the stage, if you would. Invite is on its way.
Hello. Thank you, Amber, so much for being here. I have just really been looking forward to today and hearing everything that you have to say. So I am Patricia, and I am here in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I was born here, but I have spent most of my life in North Carolina. So very different, but I love both places equally. So prior to Array, I was an elementary physical education teacher. And during that time, I loved it, but I kept just feeling this pull towards technology and just found myself, enjoying that much more than teaching in general. So when the opportunity at Array popped up, it was a no-brainer, and I applied right away for the boot camp apprenticeship program and could not be more thrilled to have this opportunity because Array just really embodies everything that I love, and it has been so fantastic. The culture is amazing, and it really feels like home. And as far as the boot camp has gone and being a boot camp student, my favorite part is just seeing all those puzzle pieces fit together. You know, you learn all these bits and pieces, but when it finally comes together, it is just such a success, and I love that. So I am looking forward to our apprenticeship starting in January. And kind of funny fact is my dad graduated from East and my mom graduated from Central.
Dun, dun, dun.
So it is a constant who is better. It is, yeah.
Watch out, territory war. Yeah,
No doubt.
That's very
No
cute.
doubt.
Thank you for that. It's really nice to meet you. Thanks for being here.
Nice to meet you. Thank you, Amber.
Awesome. Thank you, Patricia. All right, we're kind of getting down to kind of the wire here. So I choose another staff member at Array, our Chief Technology Officer, Mr. Jason Hammack. Will you please come to the stage?
Just gonna do one of these just in case.
Oh, yeah, those are fun. You saw one of those. Awesome. Hello, Mr. Hammack.
I'm good. Thanks for being here, Amber. So super pumped to hear what you have to say. So I'm the Chief Technology Officer here at Array, which means I'm responsible for further molding the nerds after Matt has run them through first go around. So it's a pretty fun job. I actually super pumped. I saw Eric had mentioned that you wrote a book, so I looked up some of the books that you've written, and I have Calm Technology. It's supposed to be on Monday, but I really enjoyed reading through the website and reading through kind of like what Calm Technology means. As much as I am a CTO, I am also a bit of a technical Luddite in that I despise the way that most technology is built these days. So I look forward to reading your point of view on that. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's nice to meet you. And thanks for being here.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Hammack. Okay, let's see here. Sean, you are up next. Please come to the stage and introduce yourself. And yes, there we go. We've got this, the fish tank bowl. There we go. There we go.
Well, hello, Amber. Thank you for coming. I'm really excited to hear what you have to say. Like ET said, I'm Sean. And as you heard at the table, I currently live in Philadelphia, or just outside of Philadelphia. I was actually born and raised in Cheyenne. Before coming to Array, I was actually working in car sales. I've also done like oil field and driven semi. And I've just kind of always had an interest in technology and decided that rather than, chasing jobs that I was never going to be happy at, I should chase my passion. And so here I am. A little bit fun fact about myself is that I actually used to do all of the fireworks for Cheyenne, including 4th of July, New Year's, Frontier Days. I've done fireworks show up in Casper a couple times. I've done fireworks shows out at Brush Creek Ranch in Saratoga. So professional pyrotechnician here.
Excellent. That was my dream. My dad and I used to shoot off a lot of mortars. And when we first moved to Wyoming from Denver, we just shot off some mortar on the side of the highway. And like the sheriff showed up and was like, what are you doing? We're like, well, this is just an empty country road. He's like, this is a major highway. Where are you guys from? And we're like, oh, sorry. And then we just like took it down the road further. And he was just like, you guys are, I'm not even calling this in. You're insane. Like, stop, please. But yeah, so fireworks have been great. So I'm glad to hear you got all those like sequencing programming and all the different cool, that like software that you use to set it all up, right?
You would think that it's that complicated, but it's really not. It's actually usually there's a guy that has a recording and it's all queued up, and he's like musically inclined and then puts a delay on it and tells like what number to press, and it's literally just on a switchboard is how we do it. And
wonderful.
We sync up our recording that has the cues with the recording that they're playing for the show. And so while everyone's listening to the amazing music, we're getting rail 1, 1, 2, 3,
All right.
That's all that we're
So
listening to.
great. So it's like more Evangelion style than I thought. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate the inner workings of that. Wanted to know, watch those every year that I was in Cheyenne. So great show. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Nice to meet
Thank you,
you.
Sean. All right, let's go ahead and go with Garrick. Well, Garrick, let me find you here there you are, Garrick. All right, add to stage. Here you come. Garrick, please come to the stage and meet Amber, please. There we go.
Hey,
You can be in the frame too.
That's my girlfriend. That's Ashley. She's trying to run away. I'm Garrick Vassar. I was actually, I've had quite a few different roles before I came to Array. I spent like 7 years trying to be a chef. Then I became like worked at a landfill, worked most recently at a business startup consultant for people starting businesses with the Secretary of State. So I've started businesses in probably just about every state in the United States, as well as Puerto Rico and so forth. I ended up finding Array more. I was looking for something else to do. I wasn't really comfortable with the company I was at the time. They were more along the lines of stealing money from people is what it more or less came across as. It's not exactly what they're doing, but kind of similar. That being the case, I came across Array through a mutual acquaintance, Adriana True, who ET knows. She recommended me to Array for the apprenticeship. I applied, and then there was the whole mess of stuff that happened. And like 6 months later, finally got the email, and then I, left my job and ended up in the boot camp and just about finished with that. I'm actually designing a mobile application for Adriana True's theater company currently, so that's my capstone. Otherwise, I'm looking forward to kind of after Array. I really love technology and just want to see it grow and help other people, because that's really what I like to do, is help people, but I'm not sure, never found an outlet in order to do that how I want to. So technology seems like a great way to do that. Really something that's interesting about me, I guess, is I've self-published a couple of books. I've lived in all sorts of places all over the United States. And like I said, I have 7 years of experience training to be a chef, so I cook pretty decent, at least. But thanks for being here, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks to you for being here. Wait, what is your favorite thing to cook, though?
My favorite thing, I really like to make. That's a tough one. I make a pretty decent steak, I'd say. Gordon Ramsay may or may not be happy about it. You never know what he has to say.
What's your secret to a good steak?
Really, it's getting the right type of steak, the right type of meat, because you really want that fat on there so it melts off and really juices up the steak. And adding butter to anything really makes it taste better. So.
All right, thanks. I'll keep that in mind. And maybe cook it in cast iron or something, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, got it. Thank you. I appreciate
Thank
that.
you, Garrick. And I love the Rugrats hoodie, by the way.
Yeah, same. You're representing.
You have no idea. I got like 3 hoodies. I got like 6 pairs of socks. I got t-shirts.
Perfect.
That's good.
Yeah,
We're going to be important cultural moment in the history of the United States.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Garrick, very much. All right, 5 down. Let's go. So the next one up, I choose. I'm looking at my list here. Let's go with Mariah. Will you please come down to the stage?
Muted. Now we're good. Hi, I'm Mariah. Thank you so much for being here with us. I think the stuff you've studied is, I was about to say the word groovy, but I think it's really cool. It's not something I've studied extensively, but I'm really excited to get my hands on your book when I have an opportunity to. Like I said, my name is Mariah. I am a boot camper here at Array. Before Array, I was I still kind of am on the side. I'm a professional dog trainer. And I have a dog, my dog Mulder, named after David Duchovny's character in the X-Files, of course. And my favorite thing about Array. I love the boot camp. I think it's fantastic. I'm super excited for the future of after being an Array because I've always been kind of a geek. I would race home from like 6th grade and I would build HTML, CSS forum post templates for people. So I've always been kind of a computer geek, and I'm really excited that I don't hate my job anymore. I'm really excited to like doing what I'm doing. And I'm excited to apply myself in that like technological kind of way. And then on top of that, I think I'm really, really excited. I'm born and raised in Wyoming. I'm a native. And I'm really, really proud of where I come from. I love Wyoming. I love the things that we have to offer. And I love being able to be a part of Wyoming 2.0 and building Wyoming as like a state. And I'm very, very excited for being directly involved with that and applying my skills directly so I can help with that. So I'm really excited for that. And I also it's just awesome opportunity. I just love it. But on top of that, a fun fact about me is I heard this actually secondhand from someone else. Like E.T., I did speech and debate all through high school. And I really, really enjoyed that. And I also I'm kind of a huge super geek. So I'm super excited to hear what you have to say.
Nice. Very nice to meet you. I appreciate it.
It's very nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
Raya.
Mhm.
All right. So let's move on to, let's go to Mr. Jordan Kraus. So Mr. Jordan Kraus, will you please come to the stage?
Hello, Amber. Thank you for joining us today. I'm super excited to hear what you have to say. My name is Jordan Kraus. I am an apprentice graphics designer here at Array right now. Prior to Array, I was a computer information technician at my local energy co-op. I've always been interested in computers, inside and out, building them, the technology that runs them. And I joined Array back in the end of 2018, and wanting to be a cybersecurity specialist and an ethical hacker. And I quickly realized that the development and coding side wasn't quite what I wanted to do, and I started shifting more over to graphic design and loved it more and more the more I did it. And ET and some of the other people were great with encouraging it, and I ended up sticking with it and getting a job after I graduated from Array. And then, unfortunately, the pandemic happened and ended up losing my position there. But luckily, ET reached out to me, and I applied for the apprenticeship back in August and got in. And I've been learning some great stuff, studying under Jason Berner and working with some great clients. And so that is, and in the future, I hope to just continue this. I love what I do. I get excited every day to design and create. So that is what I plan to do for the future. So I'm very excited to hear what you have to say. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jordan. All right, we're getting down to the wire. I choose Megan. Will you please come up to stage? Megan, introduce yourself, please.
Hi. I'm Megan O'Brien. I am a boot camper at Array, and I'm actually a native of Wisconsin, but moved to Wyoming probably almost 5 years ago now. I moved to Wyoming for work because I was formerly a respiratory therapist, working in healthcare, working in the hospitals. Over the course of like pretty much my whole career as a respiratory therapist for like 7 years, I was starting to get burned out slowly and slowly. Healthcare burnout is a real thing. Very thankless job, but on top of that, I just was getting burned out. And then COVID hit, and it got worse. I tried to help out as much as possible, but you know, you can only push yourself so much before it's not healthy to yourself. So, and I knew deep down that I love technology. I love teaching my coworkers the computer systems that we use, even though they not always, some of them loved it, some of them were very begrudgingly took my help, but they did not like computer computers at all, but that's the kind of world that healthcare is. I mean, they always complain, oh, computers job harder, but in reality, they make it better. But anyways, so I decided that healthcare wasn't for me anymore and started learning HTML, CSS on my own. And then all of a sudden, this Array, I noticed Array had a boot camp. And this is before the apprenticeship. So I noticed that Array had a boot camp. And I was like, I want to apply to that. So I considered it. And then all of a sudden the apprenticeship came up and I was like, oh, heck yeah, I want to apply to this. So I did, and I got in, and I'm super excited to be. So when I got in, I started learning JavaScript and really got into it. Did a lot of projects like everybody else in the class. But then I don't know why, but for my capstone, I decided to learn a new language on Flutter and Dart, and I really, really love Flutter and Dart more than JavaScript. Don't tell Lindley, but he's heard me right now. Anyways, but I really love it, and I can't wait to see where it takes me. I really appreciate you coming to talk with us, though. I've never even heard of a lot of your job title. I have not even heard of, and I'm just so excited because when I was in college for respiratory therapy, I really loved anthropology. Loved it. I loved cultural anthropology. I loved forensic anthropology, but I never heard of the cyborg. So I'm really excited for that. So that's about it on me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Megan. Okay, and let's go with, let me scroll here. We're almost done. Let's bring Zach. Will you please come up to stage?
All right. Hey there, Amber. We kind of met in the way. Your potato did win, so Brett owes you $5. My name's Zach. I'm an East High School graduate, so go T-Birds. Yep. So before Array, I was a touring musician. So I spent about 6 years touring the country, playing music and everything. And after that kind of ended, and I was kind of paying attention to what Array was doing and seeing just kind of the awesome things they were doing for Cheyenne and Wyoming in general, and decided to just kind of take a leap into it and jumped into the boot camp in the spring, and we were doing the back end stuff and really liked it, and got into the apprenticeship, and now I'm doing some app development and some design there. So now I'm creating an app for Visit Cheyenne. We're doing a little like art tour for downtown and around Cheyenne. So pretty excited about that, and excited to get it done and out there so people can go see more of Cheyenne and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of me, and thank you so much for coming and talking to us.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. Nice to meet you.
All right, there's two left. So it's like, let's see, you're going to see the little invite come on your screen. Second to last, Tracy, will you please come up to the stage?
Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
It's good. It's good. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon with us. Yeah, so I grew up outside of Denver, and I had no idea there was this whole high school rivalry thing. That is crazy. I'm in Casper, Wyoming now. I've been here for, I don't know, like 7-8 years or so. Before coming to Array, I was a graphic designer. Still am a graphic designer. I kind of got bored with it. I was mainly working with branding and print design. So I knew I needed to go more into tech because print designers are kind of a dime a dozen these days. But I didn't really know how far I was going into it, so I looked into like UX and coding, and then a Facebook ad popped up for Array, and I'm like, oh, I should do that. Here I am. I'm part of the current boot camp. Yeah, really enjoying it. And a fun fact about me is I really like audiobooks. Before my life got consumed by the boot camp, I was doing about a book a week. And my current book is actually the second Cinder book by Marissa Meyer, which is like a cyborg alien YA book. And yeah, so I am really intrigued to what you have to say, especially about cyborgs.
Awesome. Thanks. Nice to meet you.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Tracy. All right. And last but not least, Mr. Kyle, will you please come to the stage and introduce yourself to Amber?
Hi there. My name's Kyle Schumacher. I think we got to talk a little bit when you hopped in on our table. Before Array, I was at the University of Wyoming for percussion performance. I guess I should probably slip in that I did graduate from East High School, so with Thunderbird Nation.
Oh, come on!
I won that potato contest, so all the East people they get passed.
Thank you for representing, Amber. Oh.
But yeah, I found out about Array. An old friend of mine had joined the first group of boot campers when they started back in 2016. I forget that date every single time I say that, and I'll remember it eventually. But I saw it on Facebook, and I thought, wow, that's really cool that this is in Cheyenne. And computer science is something that I've kind of had as like a hobby for, I think also since around 7th grade. Classes and discovering the magic of HTML in 6th grade with a friend. But things just kind of happened, and I discovered the boot camp after driving by downtown one day and thinking, oh, there's this cool Array building. I should check and see what they're up to now. And cut to now, and we're almost done with the boot camp, and it's been a wild ride but very fun. It's really enjoyable. I guess a fun fact. One of the things I did while I was at UW was help manage one of the event series that they have. And one year we brought Ethan Russell, who was the photographer for like the Stones, for the Who. And I have this print that he took of John Lennon that I got while he was there. And I think his little signature's down there at the bottom. But he was a really chill guy. And it was like this cool uncle that you have that's like, oh, you want to hear this cool story about how I met John Lennon? Well, sure, okay. So I got to meet interesting people, I guess, is the fun fact. So thank you so much for coming. ET has hyped it up a whole lot, and your resume looks very interesting and very eclectic, and I'm really excited to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. Very
Awesome.
nice to meet you.
Well, thank you, Kyle, very much. So, with these online events, let's go ahead, because obviously the strange is Amber. Who is Amber? So let's take a quick 7-minute break, and when we come back, we're going to turn it over to Amber to talk about her story and all those kind of things. So 7 minutes, and we will be back to talk to Amber about all the things. So see you in a bit. Timer will be at the top of your screen.
All right.
All right.